Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Stewart, Principal Architect with Fujitsu. We're here today. We're going to take a quick look inside the migration from Oracle to FEP or Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres. So as we get into it here, first we're going to touch on the overall process of a migration. Right? Why do a migration? Typically, you do a migration because you're trying to lower your costs, right? That path to savings. And as you can see here, based on the slide, it has several steps involved. One, taking a look at the objects. What objects do you have? How many objects? What types of objects? What type of data types are you using? And then you have to critically look at the data, right? The data is going to be very important. Volumes, how much data, what type of data you have. Do you have NoSQL? Do you have some JSON data in your database? All of these things are very important when you think about a migration. And then most importantly, the application itself. What type of connections does the application make? Those are things you have to consider as well. Right? And then if you're using store procedures, do those store procedures just work within your database? Do they make connections to other databases? Right? This is all a part of that path to savings by understanding the migration and what we can call that migration journey. The migration journey is not an easy journey. A lot of people will tell you that it's an easy journey, but it's not an easy journey, right? There are a few things that can help. So there are some compatible objects that we have that can help you at Fujitsu, right? Taking a look at some of that compatibility, some of those built-in functions that you may see, the packages that you see here on the screen. This can actually help you as you do a migration. And then we also have a migration assessment. The first thing you need to do when you're thinking about migrating from an Oracle database over to a Postgres database is do that migration, right? So Fujitsu has this migration assessment, this migration portal that can actually help you with that process. Here's a simple screenshot on here that you see. One of the key things you may notice is on the right, it says talk to an expert, right? So we give you the opportunity because you may be struggling. You may not know everything about a migration. How long is it going to take? How involved is it? Is there downtime? Those are the type of questions we can discuss with you. So talking to an expert about an experience migration, this is where we can do that for you. When we're all done with the assessment, we'll give you a report. This is a quick assessment that we can do online. Actually, you can do this yourself. And we're going to give you a quick little report as shown here. You can see the number of objects, the percentage, what type of objects are there, right? And you can determine how easy it is to migrate these things and what migrates without a lot of work and effort. Right? So we're going to take you through this, right? But one of the key things to understand too is we know, and you know, there's some data that you have that's not in the database, right? It sits outside the database in some flat files. We also give you a bulk loader to actually load that data into the database as well, right? And you can see the specs here. Our bulk loader is pretty fast compared to other bulk loaders. Okay, so we're going to pause for a quick sec and we're going to jump into a quick demo and show you the actual migration port itself. Okay, here we are. As you can see, I've jumped over to the Fujitsu website here, and you can see that we have the migration portal right here on the website. You can see that there, right? Migration portal right there. Scrolling down a little bit, you can see there's 3 sections to help you understand why Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres, why FEP, right? And then we get into the self-service assessment. And then, as I mentioned before, the ability to talk to an expert, connect with us, because we want to help. We want to be helpful. And then there are instructions about the self-assessment tool here. As you can see, we go down, right? The T's and C's and FAQ and a sample as well. So one of the keys to getting started here is understanding that we're not keeping your data. Your data is going to get wiped out. So if you think there's a security risk, don't worry. we're going to wipe that out. Okay. So to get started here, all you have to do is enter some very simple information here, as you can see, right? I have some information here. You can see my name, email address, title, country. I've made a few selections here, right? Just gathering information about the database, right? Size, what type of things are you using within your environment, okay? Just trying to gather some basic information, the number of servers you have, right? When do you plan to do a migration? Less than 6 months from now? A year away? 6 months to a year, right? So you just make a selection, select the agree to the T's and C's, and then you can actually proceed, okay? So what's going to happen now is actually going to ask you to select your file. Now, your file is going to be very important here. First, we're going to click OK here. This is just giving you the session management information. Now, the one key thing about your file can be in a zip format. So all that SQL code that you have, just zip it up and we're able to read that zip file. Okay, so I'm going to browse my screen, find the zip file here real quick. Okay. So the zip file that I've chosen is actually from an Oracle sample database, the shipping schema from an Oracle sample database. So you know it definitely has Oracle format in it, right? So we're going to do a quick upload. We're going to select our character encoding, right? I'm going to select UTF-8 here, and then we're going to perform the assessment. It's 100% complete. So what type of objects you may be interested in? What type of objects do we actually have in this file? So we're going to take a look. As you notice here, the results, you have a couple options. You can download the results, view the columns, or just view the actual report. We're going to view the report here. So instantly you see the report here. So the report tells you some basic information up top, name of your source file, right, and your date and runtime information. Okay, and as you can see here, we've assessed the objects. Now let's take a look. Okay, 44 objects were in my file. We had a compatibility rate of 65.9%. That's actually pretty good, right? That's pretty good because if we look here on what the actual colors for the chart is, so 29 objects in this particular file says objects that can be migrated as is. So in this particular case, out of 44 objects, 29 objects, you're not going to have to change a thing, okay? And then we look here at the other color patterns. The orange, we don't see any orange. Orange would be things that require significant modification. Significant modification is usually going to be time consuming. So you don't see that here, right? Okay. If we go down and take a look at the type of objects here that we have. Dimensions. Dimensions can usually be complicated, as you can see, right? But we have indexes, we have views, we have tables, okay? So this just goes to show you, and then there's a count across the bottom, that the migration journey can start with Fujitsu Enterprise Postgres, okay? So try it out directly off the website. And if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.